Quail log, April 8th, 2023. So it's Saturday morning, which is normally when I clean the cages and give everyone sand to play with. I don't know if I've really recorded this in the videos before, but I'll talk about it now. So the way I've ended up taking care of my manure trays is that on Saturdays I clean them and go dump them into the compost bin. I've got 4 of these metal trays and I switch them out every week to one and shelf lower. When I do pick up when I put the trays in, they just have a layer of paper towels on it. And then immediately after, I'm giving sand, as you can hear the birds going nuts with their sand. And what this ends up doing is adding sand and the paper towels to the trays, and I find I don't have as much of a smell. There is still some smell, but it's not as bad. And the paper towels break down fairly well in the compost bin, so this is what I've started doing. I thought about getting wood chips for them, but paper towels seem to work well for me with the sand. And the birds like their sand, and it's an exciting time for them because they only get it once a week. They'll probably get a second cup of sand in each of the sand boxes. Those later on today. I try to put in, these are just basically aluminum cake pans from Walmart. You get 3 of them for like $1.50. And so I put in one of these pans for every 2 birds. Other than the top shelf, I guess there's one of the pans has to be for 3 birds, but that seems to be about the right ratio to let them in. And so that's what I end up doing with the pans. So the other things that changed yesterday that I just didn't get recorded, I now have a camera watching the eggs. So once they start hatching, I'll have been able to record when they start hatching, and hopefully I will get alerts also when they start hatching. The biggest problem is if I get it overnight, I'm not going to notice it right away because I found that my other camera back here that looks back and forth, its IR is so bright that the camera sees it as movement. So we'll see how that works. So far during the day it works nice. Is the only time that I get alerts from it is when the carousel moves. So overall they're not doing too bad. I do still have a problem. The humidity is almost always staying about 55% instead of going down. And I did have to I've set the temperature to 100 on there instead of 99.5 because it seems to prefer, or that's closer to being 99.5 on my Yo-Link. And so I'm trusting the Yo-Link more than I am on top there, because there's been a lot of times the top showed that it was 99.5 and the Yo-Link was showing it was 98. So I've kept it a little bit higher. The last couple of days have been doing good at 99.5. Current temperatures in here, it is 72 with a 35% humidity. The other thing that came on, I believe this was Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday this came in. So now I have my brooder and my grow out pen that I'll be able to start, once those eggs are hatched, I'll have a place to put everyone over there. I figure these will be nice and it'll give me extra space even in the winter when I'm not planning on growing out or hatching and growing out, though if I do, these will be handy for that. But in the winter I can use these as cages to put some of the boys in. And if I need to separate them from the girls, or just need to separate somebody for a few days if I think they need it. Though I prefer usually doing an edge to it and doing a border like that, but since these are more flat bottom and not roll out for the eggs, these will, to me, they're going to work well for just doing as kind of a hospital style one. So that's put together and out here. Water is already fed into it. I've made sure all the hoses are not leaking. It's ready to go as soon as I start hatching eggs. So, this is a typical Saturday morning for me. I come down, empty all the trays into the compost bin, and set up the new trays. Or I set up the new tray with the new paper towels. Pull one out, put the new one in, go dump, then I go down to the next shelf and follow the procedure until they're all done. And then I let the bottom shelf one air out for a week without using it at all. So at least that's my process on at least cleaning up after the birds. We'll see if that continues to be in the process that I use in the future or not. I haven't decided whether I'm going to get the larger trays for this one yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. So far, or I don't know what's going to happen with that, and we'll kind of figure it out as we go along. Because right now, most likely the top one is going to be in use and the bottom one is not. But there may get a point that I'm trying to pull birds down sooner that are really big, and leave some of the smaller ones still at the top. So we'll see when I get to that point. I've still got at least 4 weeks before I have to go with that. So we'll see from there. All right, that's it for what I've got this morning. We'll see if I come back later.